The Fantasy Bar ready to rock on a big Friday night for the NBA. Our two-game slate is behind us. Got 6 of my favorite plays for Friday, including a couple of my favorite value plays, a couple of studs I think are in a good position, and a beast of the night I think is $1,000 too cheap. Who we talking about? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition, Beer's Daily Fantasy Six-Pack. What a better place to be at the bar on a Friday talking NBA hoops. Got a nice schedule of games all spread out throughout the day. Really excited about this bubble, hoping everything runs well and hoping you did well on the two-game slate. But we're here to talk and break down more games here on Friday. So before we get into things, guys, talking FanDuel and Draftkings, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you hit that. Tells me you're enjoying your time here in the Fantasy Bar. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We're going to be doing a couple basketball videos a week, couple baseball videos as well. So staying busy here in the Fantasy Bar. I want you guys to get notified when these videos are coming out. Next, as a thank you for watching the videos, for hanging out in the Fantasy Bar, head over to RotoGrinders.com/beer, and that's going to get you $10 off a core premium subscription, which covers NBA, which we're about to talk about, MLB, NFL right around the corner, as well as PGA Tour golf. So all the tools, statistics, projections, videos, articles that you're going to need to help put in your toolbox to make you a better DFS player, head over to RotoGrinders.com/beer. Last thing, make sure you guys are downloading the SharpSide app. Player props, lines, spreads, totals, everything you need sports betting wise in the SharpSide app. And we're running a contest. The streak contest is back for a shot at some great prizes. All you got to do, lock in your favorite bet, go on a little bit of a streak, and win some free prizes. All right, we got all that behind us. Let's jump into this great slate of NBA games. Going to give you a value play I'm really high in here with Troy Brown Jr. of the Wizards. So Washington, we know. No John Wall, of course. Been out for a while. No Bradley Beal here either. And Davis Bertans also not playing for the Washington Wizards. So John Travolta looks around and asks, who the hell is going to do all the scoring here for the Washington Wizards? And obviously it's going to be spread out amongst a few guys. But when we run the numbers here, which again, you can find on our Court IQ tool over at RotoGrinders, we see it's Troy Brown Jr. averaging 1.25 fantasy points per minute with Beal and Bertans off the floor. So let's be conservative and give them high 20s, low 30s minutes. And we're talking about an 8, 9, potential 10x return on these salaries on Troy Brown Jr. Who else is going to play minutes here? So minutes should be there. The numbers show that he thrives in this situation. And of course, a limited sample there. Don't need a limited sample police on me. But the point is the Wizards very thin here. I think it's only a matter of time before these prices are $6,000, $6,500 here on Troy Brown Jr. That's my bold call here. So why not buy low here while we can on opening night for the Wizards? Great value, easily my favorite value play on this slate is Troy Brown Jr. All right, let's spend some money. Let's go to the other side of that game and go at center, DeAndre Ayton of Phoenix. So all year long, when we did have NBA, we knew pick on Washington with bigs. Nothing has changed here. Going to continue to go back to that well with a guy like DeAndre Ayton. Why? This guy's a walking double-double. We'll get to that in a second. But no team in the league has allowed more rebounds per game to the center position than the Washington Wizards. And we talked about the double-doubles before COVID hit. 6 double-doubles for DeAndre Ayton in the last 8 games before the shutdown. So pretty much a double-double machine against a team that cannot defend the post, against a team that really cannot rebound. I'm calling for 15-plus rebounds here for DeAndre Ayton to go along with his 20 points. Easily makes hay on these salaries on both Draftkings and FanDuel, making Ayton easily my favorite center on the board. All right, let's go back to the other side of that game. I think it's a very stackable game. Going to go with power forward center, Rui Hachimura. So with Washington being so thin and very punchless, we got to find a couple options we like here, and that's Troy Brown Jr. and Hachimura for me. And this DraftKings price, I think, is really going to give people sticker shock all the way up to 7,400. I love these spots where I can pay more than the average bear is willing to pay, and that helps drive down the ownership as well. So another way to kind of get around that ownership equation is you don't always have to go out to left field and find 1% owned guys. You can pay more than somebody wants to pay and still be contrarian. I think we're going to do that with Hachimura on DraftKings. Now, FanDuel, 5,600, great price there. Just love him regardless on that site. But when this guy's been given opportunity, been given minutes, been given some usage, he's really done well. And look at the past few scrimmages, and I know practice. Go back to the old Allen Iverson. We're talking about practice. But Rui Hachimura has done very well in these last couple games, starting to play with more confidence. And a guy I think you can put some of that offensive load on. Bradley Beal, massive shoes to fill, and nobody's going to do that. But between Brown, Hachimura, some of the other guys there, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for us to roster these Washington guys early on in the season and take advantage of them. While everyone's wondering who it's going to be, let's jump on board here with Hachimura. Phoenix, bottom 12 in fantasy points allowed to the power forward position before Corona hit. I don't think that changes any here. I think Rui Hachimura has a breakout game here tonight against the Phoenix Suns. All right, let's get away from that game. Let's venture out to some other games here. Let's spend some money at the point guard position. Damian Lillard of the Blazers. Now the Blazers in a tough spot here. They're really going to need Damian Lillard to put the cape on and become Superman here. And I think he can start to do that here on night one against Memphis. One game against them this season, 20-10-5 in that game. A big stage here against Ja Morant. Damian Lillard, one of those guys, not going to want to hear about the potential rookie of the year. Let me show you what I got, kid. So a little narrative there as well, but the numbers are good. We know he's going to have to step up here, and we know Memphis has struggled defending this position. As good as Ja Morant is offensively and the highlight reel dunks, defensively, still a lot left to be desired here. This is not the Memphis Grizzlies of old, where they're known for their defense. I think Damian Lillard going to expose this team. He's one of my favorite spend-ups on this slate. Don't be afraid to pay that price here on Damian Lillard against the Grizzlies. All right, let's get you an off-the-board play, a very high-risk, high-reward play. We're going to go to San Antonio and go with shooting guard, small forward, Lonnie Walker to 4. Now, what do we know about San Antonio? Well, we know Greg Popovich is nuts. That one is confirmed. We know LaMarcus Aldridge is not going to be playing here, and we know they've already talked about wanting to get their young players some minutes, some time, some opportunity, and I really like that for guys like Lonnie Walker, Keldon Johnson. We'll see if Samanic gets some run here. But Lonnie Walker, the one that really stood out. The guy's been starting in these scrimmages. We'll see if that continues. But it's a dice roll. It's a risky play. And these are the kind of plays I want to make, especially early on in the season, where the masses are going to go with the guys they feel safe about here. I want some risk in my life. I want to take some shots in GPPs. And Lonnie Walker, the perfect kind of guy that we can do that with. The matchup, solid here. Sacramento, bottom 10 in fantasy points allowed to the shooting guard position. He stays in that starting lineup. We'll see if they limit the minutes of guys like DeRozan, some of the other veterans here, and let these young guys get some run. I think that's exactly what you're going to see happen, so pounce on it early here. Making Lonnie Walker my bold beer gut, high risk, high reward dice roll play. Love this spot for him tonight. Let's get him in those lineups and see what happens with Lonnie Walker. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Friday. But before we do that, guys, we're going to run it back. We're going to say thank you for watching the video, for all the comments, everything you guys do to keep the fantasy bar open. This is all about you guys. I just sit here and babble about some players I like. If it's not for you guys, there is no fantasy bar. So we want to say thank you by giving you the Beast of the Night contest. All you got to do, get in the comment section right below the video, absolutely free to enter. All you got to do is guess fantasy points. We're going to go with FanDuel here tonight. For my Beast of the Night, closest guess is going to win themselves either one free week of RotoGrinders Premium, gives you a chance to get in there, check everything out before you purchase it, or if you're already a loyal subscriber, and thank you for that, we're going to send you a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Now, who are we guessing on? Who are we talking about? Let's take a look at my favorite play for Friday, known as the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time, and this guy's quickly becoming a Fantasy Bar Hall of Famer, one of my favorite players in the league, and I love this spot for him here on Friday. We're going to go with shooting guard, small forward, Karis LeVert of the Nets, tonight's Beast of the Night. Now, let's talk Nets. Obviously, no Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving will not be playing as well. Spencer Dinwiddie also out for this team. So again, I ask you, who is going to do the scoring here? Who's going to do the heavy lifting for the Brooklyn Nets? Certainly not going to be Joe Harris. It's going to be a guy like Karis LeVert. So we know he's going to have to do that much more. When we run the numbers, once again, court IQ, an invaluable tool. We take Kyrie and Spencer Dinwiddie off the floor. We're talking an absolutely elite 33% usage rate for Karis LeVert. You talk about a guy who was starting to smash that glass ceiling before the coronavirus hit. 3 times Karis LeVert put 60 or more DraftKings points on the board over the final 8 games. Let me repeat that. 3 60 burgers for Karis LeVert over those final 8 games, and we're only paying $7,800 and $8,200 for him. Karis LeVert is vastly underappreciated and vastly underpriced. I love this spot for him tonight in this matchup. Karis LeVert, easily my favorite play on Friday and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll wrap us up for Friday in the Fantasy Bar. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and the picks. If we want to talk about it, get in that comment section right below the video. You can ask questions, get feedback, whatever you guys want to talk about. The comment section is there for you. I'm always checking it. So let's talk some hoops. Let's talk some whatever you guys want to talk about down there. And don't forget your guest, Karis LeVert, fantasy points on FanDuel for your shot at a free week RG Premium or a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Can also follow me on Twitter at Beermakersfan. Guys, don't forget that thumbs up button and subscribe. Going to be very busy here in the Fantasy Bar. And just want to again say thank you to you guys for checking out the video. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut. Best of luck here on Friday, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week for some baseball, some basketball. Sports is back. Let's enjoy it. Guys, good luck. Have some fun. Win some money. We'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.